Welcome back, everybody. And if you are new here to the Dependent Fanatic channel, today we are talking about the greatest Michigan coaches of all time, head coaches, top 10. All 12 national championships claimed by the University of Michigan are included with these 10 coaches. So here we go. Number 10 is William McCauley. He coached from 1894 to 1895. He had 2 seasons. He went 17-2-1, which was an 88% winning percentage. He was Michigan's 4th head coach ever. Actually, the 3rd coaching regime, it was him. Michigan's first head coaches ever. There were 2 of them, and they split duties. So the first time Michigan ever fielded a team, they had 2 head coaches, and they've only had 1 since that time. But that's kind of an interesting fact there. Number 10 is William McCauley. Now, I'm bringing old school, I'm bringing new school. Where will Jim Harbaugh fall on this list? Please like the video and share with other people. And if you like it, subscribe at the end of this video. And there will be a video on quarterbacks coming up. The top 10 quarterbacks in Michigan football history. So here we go. Number 9 in Michigan's coaching history is Gustav Ferbert, another old school from 1897 to 99. He went 24-3-1. He had a tie, and it was 88% for him as well. He had a conference championship way back then. I believe it was the Western Conference championship. So he was number 9 for Michigan. So there hasn't been a lot of coaches, only 20, I believe, in Michigan's history. All Michigan men, all former players, for the most part. Number 8 is Gary Moeller. He coached from 1990 to 1994. He went 44-13-3, which is 76%. And he won 3 conference championships and a Rose Bowl in his career. So he is number 8. Number 7 is Benny Oosterbaan. All right, 1948 to 1958. He coached 10 years or 11 years. 10, 40, 50, 11. Yeah. 63-33-4 is what he went. Only 65%, but he won 3 conference championships and a national championship as a head coach. And he won a Rose Bowl. And Bernie was back after for Chrysler. He was before Chrysler. So no, he was after Chrysler. So Chrysler, I give him credit. They both had very similar types records, except Chrysler was a notch better. He coached Benny Oosterbaan as an assistant coach, I believe, and Fritz Chrysler came in before Benny Oosterbaan. Okay, from 1938 to 47 is when he coached. That's 9 years, right? And he went 71-16-3 and won 81% of his games. 2 conference championships and a national championship. He won the Rose Bowl in his last season. So why do I put Fritz Chrysler ahead of Benny Oosterbaan here? Because he paved the way for Benny Oosterbaan. And Oosterbaan was a quarterback here. He will be on. Jim Harbaugh and Benny Oosterbaan will be on both the head coach and all-time quarterback lists. Them 2 guys are amazing. Thoroughbreds for the University of Michigan. Michigan men. But first, Chrysler led the way, paved the way for Benny. That's why he is number 6. Number 5, all-time Michigan head coaches goes to Harry Kipke. From 1929 to 1937, he was the head coach. He went 46, 26, and 4, which is only a 63% winning percentage. But you got to separate his first half of his regime and his second half of his regime. They won 4 conference championships and 2 national championships in his first 5 years. In his last 4 years, they were putrid. And they were reluctant to get rid of this guy, and I don't blame them. But it took a little bit too long. He should have been ousted before then. But he is number 5 because of that 5-year stretch he had, which was amazing. Like I said, 4 conference championships, 2 national championships. Number 4 is our head coach, Jim Harbaugh. And he has room to move up this list. I'm telling you, he does. He's been head coach from 2015 until now, going on his 10th season if he stays. He's 86-25, 78% winning percentage. He has 3 conference championships and 1 national championship, and he won the Rose Bowl himself, which is what a lot of these head coaches only have 1 or 2 Rose Bowl wins. That's why the national titles aren't more than they are. But Jim Harbaugh finally broke through for us. He is number 4. And number 3, like I said, Harbaugh can move up. Lloyd Carr is only ahead of Harbaugh by 1 spot. He coached from 1995 to 2007. He is 122-40 all time. That's 75%. But he has 5 conference titles. And he has a national title, and he won a Rose Bowl, and he won an Orange Bowl in his career. So that is why Jim has to stick around and get 2 more conference titles and a couple more major bowl games, or maybe national titles, to reach the top guy. He will need to do that. Jim Harbaugh 4. Lloyd Carr is number 3 for me. Number 2 is Bo Schembechler, who led the way for Gary Moeller, Lloyd Carr, and Jim Harbaugh. He coached for 20 years from 1969 to 1989. He went 194, 48, and 5. That's 80%. He won 13 conference championships in 20 years. That's remarkable. The unremarkable thing is he couldn't win in the postseason. That's why he is not number 1. Bo Schembechler is number 2 all time. He won 2 Rose Bowls out of like 9 or something. He lost a lot of them. And a Fiesta Bowl. He won one of those 2. He is number 2 all time in Michigan history as far as head coach. Number 1 is Fielding Yost. Listen, from 1901 to 1905, they outscored people 22,000 some to 43 points. All those seasons combined, that's what happened, and they won national championships. And then he came back after he coached. Didn't work out, and he coached the 25 and 26 seasons. He was 165, 29, and 10 overall. That's 83%. He had 10 conference championships of his own, but they led to 6 national championships way back then. And he won the first ever Rose Bowl way back then. Yost also was at Stanford previously, like Jim Harbaugh was, as a head coach. So he has more wins than just at Michigan. People need to look at how great Fielding Yost was. It's all the talks about the GOAT, Saban, and I understand he probably is because of what he's done recently. But eras are different. You have to take everything into consideration. I think Fielding Yost is right up there as one of the greatest head coaches of all time. He definitely is Michigan's best head coach of all time. So to recap here, Fielding Yost is number 1. Bo Schembechler, number 2. Lloyd Carr is number 3. Jim Harbaugh, our savior, is number 4. Harry Kipke is number 5, who set up Fritz Chrysler, who was number 6, who set up Benny Oosterbaan, who was on the quarterback list, like I said, that will be coming out soon. JJ is supposed to decide tomorrow, JJ McCarthy, Michigan's current quarterback, whether he's going to stay or go pro. So that video will drop after his decision, probably. And him and Jim Oosterbaan, Jim and Oosterbaan are the head coaches that will be on the quarterback list. Promise you there. And then number 8, as far as head coach goes in all-time history, is Gary Moeller. Number 9 is Gustav Ferber. And number 10 is William McCauley. So there you have it. What do you think down below? Let me know. Is Jim Harbaugh deserving to be higher than Lloyd Carr? That's the big one that I want to know from all of you. So thank you, everyone, for tuning in. In the background, we got the Lions. They're playing tomorrow as well in a playoff game at home, their first one in decades, and they're playing against their old quarterback for the Rams, Matthew Stafford. So that'll be interesting tomorrow. Michigan hockey doing good. I didn't look at the Michigan women's basketball score, but I'll get on that. Thank you, everyone, for tuning in. Michigan basketball men's lost to Maryland, and I don't think they play till Monday at least. So it'll be a while for them. So thank you, everyone, for tuning in, like I say. And have a great day out there. And go blue. And stay Harbaugh and stay McCarthy. Let's go.